Everyone. Today we are going to have a short video in which I'm going to present the absurd atmosphere in Beckett's Waiting for Godot. This short video is presented by me, Dr. Marwa Ghazi Mohammed, College of Education for Women, University of Baghdad. The existential void. As you see in the photo, we have a bare land with a leafless tree. The setting of Act 1 is presented by 4 words only: country road, tree, and evening. And no one knows what's where, when, why this tree is leafless tree. In all the cases, it forces the atmosphere of the play, which is devoid of purpose. Man is lost. All his actions become senseless. This is a quote by Martin Islin, one of the greatest critics who wrote The Theatre of the Absurd, the main book, and he is the one who has coined this term. So he described the atmosphere as the existential void. In a brief, this is what he says. When we want to talk about how Beckett presented the absurd atmosphere in Waiting for Godot, we have more than one thing, plus the physical description that we have it in the setting. We have a status of the static play. Islin notes that Beckett replaces plotting with a status, that instead of have linear plot, beginning, middle, and end, events that are going to develop, we have only stagnant situation of waiting, endless cycle. The atmosphere is heavy with the realization that nothing happens twice. This is again one of the critics describing the action of the play and having 2 acts in which nothing is repeated 2 times. So this is the quotation: nothing happens twice, creating a sense of being trapped in an eternal present where there is no past and no future. As Vladimir and Estragon, they never say something about their background or about their memories. At the same time, they don't know what is waiting for them for the future. They are not ready. All what we are with them is the current position, waiting, the present. Actually, it is waiting itself by the ing, that as if it is imposes the present time. The metaphysical anguish. The anguish here is a raw spiritual homelessness. The atmosphere reflects a world where the metaphysical roots have been cut off, leaving characters in a state of constant, unexplained anxiety. Actually, the suffering here is a continuous suffering, and at the same time, it is a suffering of someone who has been cut off from the past, from history, and cut off from the future. Even, the process of finding a meaning, trying to find a meaning, it is cut off by Godot not coming. The tragicomic synthesis, another thing that can be added to the description of the atmosphere. How these 2 characters, Vladimir and Estragon, let's say, react to their stagnant situation of waiting. The atmosphere uses clowning acts. This is what we see. They are, passing their time with either irrelevant dialogue, dancing, singing, clownish action in the form of playing games, act as a desperate mask for the horror of an empty universe, which mirrors the absurdity of a human effort. Of course, this is, the characteristic of the theater of the absurd. Tragicomedy means that they are using a humor, the black humor, as a means of defense, mechanism of defense to endure their black tragedy. Circularity and the breakdown of time is another dimension that could be one of the characteristics of the atmosphere, or let's say one of the things that define the atmosphere. What do we have? Time is not linear, but circular. Sure, we don't have any plot. All what we have is a cycle. We begin and end with the same thing. Vladimir and Estragon waiting at the end, and they do not move. Though they say, let's go, and the other one says, shall we go? Let's go. The atmosphere is one of the disorientation where the lack of a future or a clear path renders the characters waiting, both infinite and futile. As I have mentioned before, no past, no future, they are only as if they are trapped in this process of waiting. And by this, I hope that it has been a useful video about the atmosphere of absurdity in Waiting for Godot. Thanks a lot for your listening.